Greetings again, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTubes. I am Joe Atticus Inch, and this, of course, is another episode of Poet Love. Now, today's poet is, again, a poet I have never personally met. Such as the Adam Faulkner episode, I won't be following the typical arc of introduction, reveal, biography, anecdote. Won't be following that. But it's strange and interesting the fact that today's poet is one that has had such a great influence on me and in the way I just view poetry in general. He is a poet whose name has always just resonated with me, and every time no matter what, if I see his name a part of it, I will have full faith in it. And I mean, how can you turn down someone who has a name as great as Anis Mojgani? Now, Anis Mojgani is a two-time individual National Poetry Slam champion. He's also the winner of the International World Cup Poetry Slam. He's a Right Bloody author where he's released his books, Stretch Over the Anvil, We Stretch in the Feather Room, and also now is going to have a book out on Right Bloody Press full of all his old poems. He's a TEDx speaker. He's toured all across the world, and that is all you really need to know about Anis. Now, again, I'm just going to give somewhat of a personal anecdote. I first discovered Anis' work through this book I've shown a couple times now, the Spoken Word Revolution Redux. And the second poem in the book has been known now simply as Galump. But the full title in the book is Galump These Nuts, Galump These Shoulders, Spines, Eyes, and Collarbones of Mine. When you're new to poetry and you see a title like that, I really thought it was gonna suck. I'm sorry, but it was something that what? You look at a title, but honestly, I gave it a chance. And Galump is a great introduction to Anis in general. From there, from Galump, came into my life. I shouldn't really say that. That's kind of blasphemous. But Galump opened the door to other Anis' work. Shake the Dust, for those who can ride in airplanes for the first time. There are 17 books in my library. Anis just has this style that resonates with me, and especially, like, I have the book. This is the book, Over the Anvil We Stretch, on Right Bloody Press. And, like, the setting, the setup of the poems, one thing I can say about Anis that I really like is that there is really a big difference between the stuff that he slams and performs with the stuff that he just writes. Some stuff it really does work on the page, and his other stuff works well on the page and performance, but that doesn't mean that the stuff that just works on the page is bad too. I mean, in a beginning sense, you like, for me, I liked the stuff that was performed, and the fact that read well. Anis' stuff, reads really well. If you want proof of how much I've read this book is starting to fall apart. I've read this book so many times now. And Anis is just kind of like with Adam Faulkner, like I talked with last episode. I never met him. I've had friends who met him. I've had friends who got confused for him. And the only time that I was ever probably going to see him live, he canceled. Because that's a long story, but it's nothing to hold against Anis. I hopefully will get to see him perform. If I had to give a few other suggestions, I really do want people to check out Anis's work. Another great starting point, I think, and another just compliment to his poetry is he has a poem. It's either called Milos or Milos. I'm not good at the pronunciation sometimes, and I've never really heard it. I've just only seen it, I've never heard it, the title pronounced. But there's a video on YouTube of it, just set to imagery, and it's got some beautiful music in it. So look for the title in the credits for the proper spelling. Also, someone made a video of a mashup of his poems set to some music from Inception. It's genius, and that just shows the power of Anis's work. It can just mesh so well with anything, and it can just draw so many emotions into it. I guess other than that, that's all I can say. Check out Anis, check out his website, thepianofarm.com. Crazy name, I know. You can get his work at that website or writebloody.com. And we're just going to draw now because I don't want to spend another episode just completely rambling. So, oh boy. Tomorrow's going to be interesting again, as always. And until then, I am Joe Atticus Inch, reminding you to keep your pens moving, live long and prosper. I'll see you next time.